So, guys, today we're doing a ranking of Symphonia characters. We're gonna rank them and see how it goes. And we have a guest joined with us today. You wanna introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Horangi. I like to do
Horangi.
solos on my YouTube channel. You might have seen my
Nice.
videos before. If so,
Yo,
thank
they're
you
really
for
good.
watching.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your videos are good too. I really like your videos.
Yeah, they're okay. Not as good as yours, but
Nah, dude, your videos are so good.
that's okay.
Yeah, I can't play as the whole party like that, like you do. I'm really bad, actually.
Oh, I'd love to see a run like that, but that's for another time. Today we're just gonna rank these Symphonia characters and see how it goes. So to start off, I want to do someone like I think a really easy one. I feel like I maybe he disagrees, but I feel like Mythos is like an easy S tier. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it also depends on like how big are we making this S tier, but I think Mythos is easily S or A tier just because he's a really good villain. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like he serves all of his purposes in this game well. Like, do you remember when you first introduced to him? Like I guess like can like based off the game, Kratos is supposed to like whoop your ass or something, and then you get introduced to Mythos, and then he like destroys you after that, and then you just learn more and more about him, and he's like really interesting.
yeah, he's also a character who's pretty much built up through the entire game, and like everybody's like, oh my god, it's Mythos the hero, and like
Yeah,
he's almost like a figure you have to like surpass within the game. Like he's kind of like you're kind of like battling against like the legend himself. I think that's really cool, and also just like his motivations as a character are like obviously his actions are very twisted,
yeah.
but his motivations as a character are like you can kind of sympathize with it. So I think he's a pretty good character.
I agree. I think like us Tales fans might be a little spoiled, but when you like go back in time, like or maybe around 2003, and you look at like a lot of movies or TV shows and like the type of villains there may be like just like comically bad guys, but like Mythos has like a lot of depth and like interesting stuff going on about him. So that's why I think, especially for 2003, I think he'd be S tier. But
Yeah, I think so too.
all right, next one I wanted to do maybe a controversial one. All right, so next we got Presea, and I feel like I really like Presea, but I feel like the way the characters, like first when you're introduced to her, she's really interesting. You're like, oh, I wonder what's going on with her. I want to learn more. But then I feel like as soon as they solve the thing with the Crucius Crystal for her, I feel like that's when her character you should learn much more about her. But I feel like the game you stop learning about her, and then she becomes much more in the background after that. So even though I like her, I feel like she would like much more like a lower tier. What do you think?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I definitely think Persea and Regal, just because like they're introduced much later into the game and their conflicts aren't as intertwined with the main conflict, so to say. I think their characters are a little underdeveloped compared to the rest of the main cast. I don't know if I'd put her in C tier, but I think it's relatively fair what you're saying.
Yeah, I just there's missed potential. Like especially when I feel like when I compare with other Tales games like Exilia, Berseria, Zestiria, even like when you look at like how much more like things that are going on with the other characters, I feel like you compare back to Berseria, there's just some missed potential. Like I really like her, the voice actress is really nice, and there's lots of potential. And again, if anyone ever says like, oh, well, like there's something in the skits, like bro, I ain't reading no skits that aren't voiced that you can't just skip through. I don't know if have you gone through any of the skits. Maybe there's more interesting things going on with her there, but yeah.
Uh, I don't remember a lot of the skits. I mean, I read them when I was a kid, but I haven't read them recently,
Yeah.
so I can't say.
Okay. So you'd say like so where were you okay. I would have her as C tier. Where would you personally have her as?
I think for now a C tier is fine. We'll see how the rest of the tier list shapes up.
Okay. All right. Any character you want to do next?
Sure. I mean, we did Persea, so we can probably go into Regal pretty easily.
Regal. Okay.
So, like, personally, I really, really like Regal. Just like, I just think he's super cool, and I always have thought he's super
Same.
cool. So, like, for me, he's like at least B tier. And honestly, I really, really enjoy his scene when he's talking to Alicia and Persea on the roof of the Lazarena Company.
Yeah.
I think that's one of like the most emotionally charged scenes in the game. So I think he's like easily B or A tier for me. What do
I
you
agree.
think?
I agree that I like him. I feel like there's a bit more going on with him than Per se, even though I feel like they are relatively similar. As a kid, I was like, "Yo, Regal's so cool," but like last couple times I replayed the game, I just noticed like, dude, how old is this dude? And like, How old is where was her Alicia? She's like 16 or something, and he's
I
like
have no
the
idea, but
CEO of a company, and she's like a maid or something. That's a little
Alicia does
sus,
look
Rico.
really
Like find
young,
someone
but
your own age or own like status group. I don't know. It's a little sus.
no, to be fair, look at the status group. Fair. We don't know Alicia's age, so you can't really say if he's sus or not. But
Dude, if you
yeah,
just like open the news, like oh, like the CEO is just like going off with like the 16-year-old maid of his company, come on.
yeah. But I'm not gonna call out Regal for being, you know.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Fine. Then let's move on to. All right. So where would you rank him? Would you put him up here, or
Personally, I'd put A tier,
you'd put him A
but
tier? Okay.
yeah,
I'll leave him B tier, but maybe if someone has some arguments, I'll change my mind. But
yeah. B tier is also fine, but personally, he's A tier for me.
all right. Alicia, I don't think she has. She's not really a character. I feel like she's more of like a plot device for the other
Yeah,
characters going
she
on.
really is. She
So
really
I'll
is just
just
like a
leave
plot
her.
device
Yeah.
to kind of connect Regal and Persea's conflicts
Let's
together.
rename it. Who? Question mark.
Yeah, pretty
And then I
much.
feel like you could put Aisha right here as well.
Yeah, Aisha is not
I don't
really a real
remember anything
character.
about her.
Okay, so for people who don't know, Aisha is who is the she's the Carol who was originally supposed to be sacrificed to the Windmaster in Asgard, and Rain takes her place, and we beat up the Windmaster, and that's basically Aisha. She also has a few friends, but she's not really a real character, so we can just put her in the Who tier.
Yeah. All right, I agree. Let's see. All right, let's. I feel like we should make another tier. Where is it? Did I do this? Add row above, and then we can put no-ish right
No
here. I feel like he belongs right here. This is
Yeah,
perfect. Like there's
perfect.
S tier. Like yeah, you can have a backstory and do some character stuff, but you're not as cool as no-ish. It doesn't matter.
He's a protozoan.
Yeah, and I don't know how we got onto the Riards for Tethayala, but
It's
any explanation?
Tethayala technology.
All right. You want to put Corinne right here too? Is that fine?
I think we could actually put Curran into a tier because like he can actually like talk and he is kind of a character.
Okay. Where would you rank Corinne?
Honestly, I feel like we should make like a D tier still.
A D
Like
tier?
I'll probably put him in like D tier
Okay, we can do that. Sure. D. Corinne.
because I don't think Curran is like a bad character. He's kind of just like he's more like a plot device for Sheena to
Yeah,
start moving forwards.
exactly. Yeah. Like
But he's kind
that
of
scene
annoying
in
too.
Temple of Lightning. Yeah, that was pretty nice. But yeah, no, I
But
get what you're
that
saying.
scene is kind of sad for like Sheena as a character, but like I feel bad for Sheena and not
Not
really
for Corinne.
Corinne, right?
You're just like, all right. Sorry, Sheena, but rip Corinne. Bye, Corinne. Get out of here.
So yeah, Corinne can be our first D tier.
All right. All right, sounds good. Who do you want to do next?
Uh, let's go with Genus because I actually really don't like Genus.
Oh my God, you don't like Genus?
I do not like Genus.
All right, I
Do you like
actually
Genus?
no. I completely agree with you. Like Genus is like for I don't know. There might be some Genus fans, but I don't care if I trigger you. But yeah, Genus is a little
Wow.
annoying. But that was when I first played as a kid. I really found Genus annoying. But like with again last couple times, I feel like even though yes, I do personally think he's annoying. I feel like there is some more depth or character development going on than Persea, especially. I feel like for I think one of the character arcs for Genus is learning that like people treat him poorly because he's like a half elf, but he's treating everyone else poorly just because they're like humans or elves because they treat him poorly. So he's kind of doing a similar thing. I feel like there's some a bit more interesting character stuff
Yeah.
going on just with that. But yeah.
So the reason I don't like Genus is one, he's kind of like the Lloyd's best friend character, but their relationship doesn't really feel like that close to me. Just I don't know. It just never felt like the most genuine relationship to me, I guess. And also, he kind of what I kind of didn't like about Genus is that unlike the rest of the cast, he didn't really grow to like accept humans, elves, and half elves altogether.
Yeah.
He just like he only likes the humans within Lloyd's group, right?
Yeah.
He's like I think there's a line where he actually says like I hate humans, but you're all right, Lloyd.
Yeah, I think he says something like that. I think
Which
also when near the end of the game when there's like a all those scenes with like Mythos and then behind the mirror. I think he says something similar along those lines. Like I used to hate humans and elves just because they treated me poorly, but like that's like the weakness in his heart. I feel like there's some there, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, personally I'd put him like ranking below like the other main cast. That's just me though.
All right,
So like low C tier
low C
probably.
tier.
I,
All
I
right,
wouldn't
well,
put him. I wouldn't put him on Corinne tier yet, but like
oh, is it? He has to be above Corinne at least for you,
yeah,
right?
I said I wouldn't put him on Corinne's tier. So like low C tier, I'd
All
say.
right, all right. We'll do low C tier for Genus.
Something else about Genus is like he's also kind of there to progress Mythos as a character a little bit more with their
Their
friendship together.
friendship, yeah, yeah.
So that's he's got that going for him too.
Would you put Persea above Genus?
I would just, but that's just my bias, honestly.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it for that. But yeah, I personally would put him B, but that's fine. Okay. All right. Do you have any comments on Koton?
Koton, okay,
Easy S
Koton,
tier.
yeah, easy S tier. No,
Oh.
Koton. If you think about what this guy is actually doing, he's kind of a jerk. Like he's charging so much for these road passes, which literally allow people to get to like the other side of the continent. They're like, well, if someone like needs to see their like family over there or something, this guy's
He,
kind of a jerk.
yeah, he's a jerk, but he's entertaining. I
Yeah,
can tolerate jerks if
he's
they're
kind of funny,
entertaining.
but he is kind of what he's doing is kind of messed up if you think about it a little bit.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave him. I feel like he's above Corinne.
Wow, I
All
don't
right.
know if I'd say he's a book, but
Yeah.
you know what? Yeah, let's roll with it.
All right, all right. Remiel. I like Remiel personally. I feel like he's very memorable. Like he's dislikable. Like you're rooting against him, but I feel like he's dislikable in a good way, where it makes you more invested into the characters in the story, and he's like a very memorable person. So personally, I would have him like I feel like he's like a solid A tier villain. But what do you think?
Hmm. Remiel. So I think Remiel is really effective just because like when you start the game, you don't okay, especially like back in like 2000 whatever, you didn't expect like the angel to become the bad guy, or at least I
Yeah,
didn't when I was a
exactly.
kid. So when that
Yeah.
was like revealed at the Tower of Salvation, that was like a huge shock to me. I was like 6 years old or something, but I still remember that moment in my brain like very vividly, and
Yeah.
he does his job as a villain like really well. I mean, he doesn't stick around for much longer than that, but he is part of like one of the most memorable scenes in the game, I think. So
For sure. And I think there's also like lots of like subtle differences if you know like between every seal that you go to there like you can see little subtle differences in like his mood or like he seems a little annoyed that they like blew up a design ranch or something.
yeah,
But yeah. So I feel like yeah, they did a lot of great work with Remiel. And like the boss fight with him is really I feel like yeah, memorable area of the game.
yeah, it's the
Um,
Tower of Salvation. That place is just awesome.
yeah, absolutely. All right. Who do you want to do next?
Let's see. You know what? Let's do Varley,
Barley.
the goat.
Okay, I'm not gonna put him in who because I remember him, but I don't remember him for a good reason. Like I feel like it was very like the whole disc 2 felt a little rushed at times where like you set this guy up and then there's no satisfying payoff at the end.
Yeah, he
Uh,
just kind of gets killed by Persea in the sewers, if I remember
Exactly. Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, yeah. They just like take him out. They're just like, all right, we got to get to Mythos. So I guess we have like a bunch of other people like him and the Pope and stuff. Like we just got to like take them all out at the same time. And
Yeah,
there should have been like I feel like if they had more time to work on the game or something, they would
I
have
think
like
out
fleshed
of
him out a bit more or had a more satisfying conclusion. But yeah,
yeah, Varley looks funny, but I think out of all the antagonists, he's probably the least interesting.
sure. And I'm just thinking
He
like
just doesn't have a
if they
lot
could
going
just
for
kill
him.
him that easily, like why didn't like Regal kill him like a way back ago or something else going on? I don't know.
I think Varley was blackmailing Regal. I think that's what was going on. So
Yeah, I get that
he also was working with the Pope. So
but if Regal's like CEO of a company, you think you could just like have someone take him out, just like they did at the sewers. But I don't know.
Yeah, Regal was kind of in jail though, so I'll give him a pass.
All right, all right. Okay,
And
though,
Per se had no heart because of the X Sphere.
you think you want to rank the Pope the same, or do you have is the
Uh,
Pope a higher?
Pope is the Pope is actually a lot more interesting than Varley.
Okay,
Like he has the whole thing with Kate going on,
yeah.
which is his half-elven daughter. And if I remember correctly, the Pope is like the reason for a lot of like the anti-half-elf policies in Tethe'ala,
Yeah.
because he started to be afraid of his own daughter, who he was like, "I'm growing older, but my daughter is
Well,
like."
did he create those policies, or was it like they're already there and then he's just kind of like
I'm
reinforcing
not. I
them?
don't 100% remember. He might be the one reinforcing them. I don't know if he made them or not, but
Yeah.
I remember that being like a thing in the game. So like, I do think the Pope is actually.
Isn't that insane? We've played the game so many times we can't remember like there's like little so many still little things you don't remember or like know fully about. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's
where would
just.
you rank
I
him?
mean, I'd probably put him at the top of
Yeah?
D.
D. Top of D. All right, he's not above Kotan, all right, but
Not of Kotan. Okay, you really like Kotan.
yeah. What can I say? I have a fan for Kotans. All right.
Okay, okay,
All right, Colette. I'll let you start off with Colette. It's
okay.
your it's
I'm a
yours.
really big fan of
Yeah.
Colette. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I really like Colette. She's pretty much she's pretty easily like S tier, or at the very least high A tier for me. I really like her um, entire character progression basically. So at the beginning of the game, she's kind of like self-sacrificing chosen. She believes that if she sacrifices herself, then everybody will be saved. And then after things go awry at the Tower of Salvation, she starts to like have really low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Like she starts to like doubt herself because she feels that she failed as a chosen. And I think like all that is like really depressing, and
Yeah.
I kind of like that stuff. So
Yo, same. Yeah, no, actually, I would agree. I think you could either do top of A or S as well. I feel like, yeah, there's lots of interesting stuff with Colette. Um, yeah, I feel like a lot of people could relate to either they are that person or they know someone who may be like more willing to hide their pain or being a people pleasing person just to like make everyone else around them happy. But yeah, I feel like that part of Colette's character is really interesting.
yeah, that's another big part of Colette that I forgot to mention. Is just like she always like bottles up her pain and emotions and stuff. Like the biggest example of that would probably be at the Isalia Ranch, where Forcestus like shoots her, and then it's revealed that there's like an X spear growing on her body, or like she's turning into an X
Yeah,
spear or whatever. That's like that's a pretty powerful scene to me still.
it is. And then she doesn't even care about her own pain. It's more like, no, Lloyd, don't think I'm like hideous or ugly or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
also just like kind of her backstory is pretty sad, just because like she was raised to be the chosen, everybody treated her differently, and she was basically raised to die, and that's really sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine what that would be like the weight of like your whole purpose is just to be sacrificed, like how that would affect your like emotional mental state or whatever. But yeah. All right. Who do you want to do next?
Let's see. Let's go with Rodile. I really hate this guy actually.
Not in a good way, right?
Yeah, not in a good way.
In the Varley
I
way.
think he's easily the worst Grand Cardinal.
I agree.
He's just not super interesting, and especially the biggest gripe I have with Rodile is actually just his boss fight where he turns into like a cucumber.
Yeah, no, that yeah, no, I was not expecting that when I played that, and every time I played the game, it's just like, ah, this Rodile fight.
Yeah, I really hate the Rodile fight. I'm like, I wish I could have just like fought Rodile normally. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
really don't care for Rodile.
I agree. I don't like him, but there's one scene I do like of him where I think when Colette's like after the Tower of Salvation, Colette's like kicks some dog, and then Rodile's like, like he's like, oh, that's a fine lady or something like
Yeah,
that.
that is pretty funny. To be fair, like Rodile is like plotting a lot of things like behind the scenes, and he's like he's the one who is responsible for like the mannequin and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
he
I
is
just don't like
driving a lot of
Rodile.
the plot in the game. That is true, but I feel like he doesn't he's not as much of a flop in like execution of character as Varley, but
Yeah, I'd maybe put him
where'd
near
you
the
put
Pope.
him?
I
Near the
had her.
Pope.
I had her behind the Pope, somewhere around there. Yeah.
All right, I'll put him. No, 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 can't. No, not Kotan.
Not Kotai.
He must be top of D. All right, because he's a dick. But
Okay.
all right, Chocolat. Where would you rank Chocolat?
Chocolat. I I don't like Chocolat, but like the kind of the role she serves in the story is kind of like to show the consequences of Lloyd's actions at Iselia. So in
Yeah,
that sense, she does a pretty good job with that. But at the same time, I really don't like Chocolat because her decision making is
yeah.
not great. It's like,
I
yeah, I'm just gonna willingly go with the designs. Good idea.
no, I agree with you. I think yeah, like I think when you play the game, Chocolat is dislikable. I think she's supposed to be like that. Like her role is to be disliked initially. But if again, yeah, exactly as you said. Like she reminds you of what happened with Lloyd and all the stuff with Marble and stuff. And I feel like she has a really good scene after you fulfill that Asalia Ranch part where she like tells off the mayor. I feel like
Yeah,
that was a pretty good scene.
that is a pretty decent scene.
So just for that,
That,
I'm
that
gonna
that's kind of her redemption.
yeah. So just for that, I'll put
So yeah,
her bottom of C.
we can
Sad
put her
thinking.
C.
Why not?
I'm okay with that.
Why not? All right. I don't know what to say about Kelia. Do you have any words to say about Kelia?
She really scared me as a kid.
Yo, same. She was terrifying.
She's so scary. Like, okay, so my biggest question of Killia is what is she?
I
She
don't.
says she's a
There's
half
no
elf.
explanation. She just
There's
appears.
no other
She
half
turns
elf.
like wild, and you kill her, and then it's just there's no mention of her ever again. Like
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and it's like that's like the only like Purnima's servant or something. There's no other character like her. I guess Purnima just is the only one, but
Well, to be fair, Pronima does have her like little minions in her battle, which are also like kind
true.
of weird. So I guess maybe Pronima is just doing some weird experiments
The only thing I
over there.
don't
I don't know.
understand is during the Chosen's journey, it was supposed to be like the designs aren't actually trying to kill the Chosen's group. However, I think like it was like Magnius was like deceived by Rodile or something that there
Yes.
was an order. But so wouldn't Kelia not be aware that there isn't an order because she's like underling of Pronima? But it seems like she actually was trying to kill the Chosen. So I don't understand it unless someone has some clarification. But yeah,
Maybe she's just gonna kill everybody except the chosen. I don't know.
maybe. But then I don't know how would the Chosen. Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
there's no way
Killia
Colette
is
Solo would. Actually, no. You just did that all. Never mind.
no way. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Killia's kind of weird. I feel like she's almost like there for like the shock factor almost.
Yeah. I'll leave her
So
in
I
Who.
mean, yeah.
All right. Abyssian.
Oh, my boy. I have
He's not
a
really a
lot of experience
character,
fighting this guy.
but he's cool. He's not really a character,
But
but
he's
he's
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah, he's so cool.
He's honestly one of my favorite bosses in like any video game. So like
Same.
it feels wrong to like rank him in like D tier, but that's
Yeah, it's
probably
like
where
I
he's gonna
can't
have to
put him
go.
here. Man, really putting him below Chocolate.
No, that sounds so wrong. But like, okay, as a character, he doesn't really do anything. He's like not even like he's not even like in the main story, right? So he's kind of hard to rank him like as a character, but like as a boss, he's just so cool.
You
It
should
feels
put
wrong
him
though.
right over here. Abyssian.
A Vision,
He gets his
the
own
goat.
tier. Yeah.
He gets his own tier.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Sounds good. All right, Boda. I feel like
Dude, Boda is actually
yeah, no, go
Boda.
ahead.
I really like Boda. He's not like a very well developed character, but he's a really likable character, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have this general sensation of Boda that I like him, but when I think back to a lot of scenes, he doesn't really have much going on in his character. Like I
Yeah.
don't really have any memorable scenes except when he dies.
Yeah, his death scene's like
His death scene's pretty good,
I
but like
really
I
like
don't
his
know
death
anything
scene.
else about him.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. He's not a developed character at all, but he's
Yeah.
cool. Maybe bottom of C.
Yeah. All right, I'll leave him bottom of C. And bro, his fight with Ewan is so fun.
Oh dude, that's like one
Dude.
of my favorite fights of the game.
Yeah. We should do another tier list just for the fight, like the boss battles.
The boss fights,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Kavar for me, I feel like Kavar is A or S. just because I feel like his existence as a character elevates the entire game and story and all of the relationships between Lloyd and Kratos and that entire dynamic. Like that's one of the most memorable scenes of the game when you're fighting Kavar. So I feel like his role as a villain was like executed perfectly.
Yeah, Kavar is might be the best, one of the best villains in the game. I wouldn't say he's the best because Mythos exists, but
Yeah, he's just
Kavar
so
Kavar is really well
dislikable.
executed,
Yeah,
and his
absolutely.
entire backstory with Kratos is really really good.
Like I don't know where to put him. To A or maybe
Maybe
A.
top of A. Yeah,
Yeah, all right. We'll do A.
and he also has that great scene where it's like when he's dying, Kratos is like feel the pain of those
Inferior
inferior beings
beings.
as you burn in hell. It's so good.
Bro. Yeah, that's such a
It's so
good scene.
iconic.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right. Pietro. I really hate this guy. I hate
You
everything
hate
about
Pietro?
No, I hate every single thing about him just because Lewin is rebuilt when you give like I spend so much time grinding gold like back in the day and he gets all it feels like he gets all of the credit when we finance the entire thing.
Well, he does build statues of us though.
Yeah, but I don't think that's enough. I feel like everyone and the party even gives Pietro all the credit. Like they're like, "Yo, Pietro, you did it." When it's like, "No, I did it. I'm the one who was like fought that dragon a million times just so I can get the gold to rebuild Lewin. I did it. I deserve the
Yeah,
credit."
I was gonna ask you about the dragon.
Yeah.
Also, I don't mind Pietro. I mean, like this guy was trapped in design base. He escaped, and after he got killed by Rain, he decided to do something good with his life and help rebuild Ruin. I mean, I think he's a pretty respectable dude.
No, you're right. I think I have a bias, but
Yeah, definitely a little bit.
where would
But
you
you
rank
know,
him?
let's put him above Varley.
Varley. All right.
I don't think he deserves
Yeah.
to be below Varley.
All right. All right. Who do you want to? You can pick next.
Okay. Let's go with Rain,
All right. Where would you
another
rank
main
Rain?
party member. I'd rank Rain probably somewhere in the B or A range. I actually really like Rain.
Yeah.
Um, she's definitely like kind of like the voice of reason throughout the entire game, and she tries to make like the more cold, calculating decisions compared to the rest of the cast.
She also engages
And
in casual 2003 child abuse when she beats the shit out of Genus and Lloyd.
yeah, that is pretty true. That's something I noticed when I play through the game these days.
Like she just
But
kicked
like,
Lloyd straight in the face.
yeah, I didn't really think about that back then when I was a kid, but
No, it's like, oh, I
nowadays,
guess. Yeah,
nowadays it's a little suspicious. But
exactly.
overall, I think Rain is a good character though, especially her scene with her mother in Exile. I think that hits really hard.
Yeah, I agree.
I,
I agree. I
and
like
also
it.
her illusion scene is really good with her mother too. Just like everything in Rain's mother is executed really well, I think.
I agree. I think everything about Rain is pretty solid. I feel like there's not that much character development, but she already is like an adult. Like she probably
Yeah,
already has gone through that in her life. Yeah, I feel like
her,
top of B is fine. Like have you seen?
Rain's arc is more about discovering her past and like piecing together her past. Like she's always been looking for like ruins and stuff from ages past to like try to l- figure out like where she was born and stuff like that. And I think
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
I agree. So yeah, I think top of B is fine. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right, next one. When I as a kid, Kratos was my favorite character, and I was like, yo, I want to be like Kratos when I grow up.
Dude,
But
you
then when I
too?
grow up, I'm just like, dude, this dude's a deadbeat dad. Oh my god, he's still cool. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm just like you. I also wanted to be like Kratos when I grew up. I kind of I took a lot of I took a lot of like mannerisms from him. Actually, I tried to be like super cool
Blame
like
your
Kratos
fate.
when I was in elementary school. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
I was I was a bit cringe.
it's cringe, but you must bask in the cringe.
But I still like Kratos because like you could say he's like a really bad dad, but I don't think he really had too much of a choice because like he thought Lloyd was dead for like the longest time. He thought Lloyd fell off a cliff or whatever while he was fighting Kavar.
You think he has like angel wings? You don't think he could like, I don't know, just like fly around a little bit, do some like checking?
Well, by the time he tried to check, Dirk had already taken Lloyd. So I
That's
mean,
true.
so he just thought Lloyd was dead. So I for that time, like when Lloyd was growing up, I can't really blame Kratos too much for that. And to
Yeah.
be fair, throughout the entire story, Kratos is going behind Crucius's back and trying to help out Lloyd, which I think is like a really great part of his character. And even when he's in the party, like he's trying not to be obvious about it, but like he's trying to be like a mentor slash like father figure to Lloyd in like
Yeah.
his own socially awkward way, and I think that's really cute. So I still really like Kratos.
I agree. I really like Kratos as well. I feel like one of the best parts about him is when you replay the game, you notice so many subtle little like giveaways and clues and like there's like level 1 when you just like first play the game, and there's like level like 2 when you
Yeah,
second play the game, and you like notice every little thing interaction going on, like oh well Kratos is there at the beginning, or like there or like these other scenes. Like it really adds to the replayability, I feel like, with his dynamic.
yeah. And another subtle thing to their relationship, probably very few people know this, but when in the cooking mechanic of the game, Kratos and Lloyd like to use a lot of the same ingredients
Oh
in
really?
the recipes. Yeah,
I didn't
so
know that.
that's like that. Just another hint. Like there's so many like hints to their relationship. I think it's really cool.
Oh my god, dude! I didn't know about that cooking thing. That's
Yeah, it's
interesting.
pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that is cool. They put a lot of detail in this game. All right, all right. I think Orochi's the safe. Who?
Yeah, he's kind of like the good Kuchinawa,
The good Kuchinawa.
but like because he's the good
Red versus
Kuchinawa, no one
blue.
likes him.
Yeah.
No one cares about Orochi.
Oh.
But Kuchinawa's a bit more interesting.
He's more interesting. I really dislike Kuchinawa, but yeah, he is more interesting. What do you think about Kuchinawa?
Kuchinawa is similar to Chocolat, where it's like he's a character that like is a living reminder of the character's mm, like mistakes, I guess.
Yeah,
Like so for Lloyd it's Chocolat, and for Sheena it's Kuchinawa. And so what happened to Kuchinawa is his parents were killed when Sheena was trying to make a pact with Volt, and so that's why Kuchinawa hates Sheena, and that's why he sides with the Pope and stuff,
yeah.
and duels Kuchinawa. I mean, duels Sheena in the end. So I don't know. I don't think like he's a bad character necessarily.
No,
I don't really know how to feel about Kuchinawa
yeah,
actually.
that's what I'm saying. I like I see what you're saying. There is similarities between him and Chocolat. I feel like might be executed a little bit better, but I don't know. I feel like
Kuchinawa doesn't really have like the same like
yeah,
redemption, I guess.
yeah, and I feel like that fight with Kuchinawa, that one is just so annoying to do. But you did a great
I
job
think
in yours.
I
So
think it's pretty fun.
yeah. All right. Oh yeah, yeah. I think they're fine, similar. Who do you want to do next?
Since we did Kuchinawa, we can do Sheena.
All right, Sheena. For me, I feel
I
like
think
Sheena is, I don't know, somewhere between A and B for me. I
I
really
would
like her.
personally put her A. I really like Sheena just because for one, I really like just like her Mizu Hoenn background in general, because
Yeah,
like it just shows like how there's discrimination even within humans in Tetheala,
yeah.
and I thought that was pretty interesting because like she's always says like she's an outcast. Okay, well she's an outcast in Mizuho, and she's an outcast in the whole of Tetheala because she's Mizuhoan.
She's not an
So
outcast to Zelos.
it's a really unlucky situation for her.
Yeah,
And that kind of plays into like the main cast of Symphonia is like the one place where she found like people who accept her, and I think that's really neat about her. And her like kind of revenge arc against Volt is also really cool, I think.
she also has the best character theme, I feel like.
True.
And yeah, no, I like Sheena. I feel like the only thing holding her back from S, in my opinion, is I feel like her character arc kind of like gets concluded right after you beat Vault. Like I feel like she just
Yeah, I
turns
think
into
so
like a
too.
background character. Like if you can like really think like how much more character stuff goes on with Sheena after the Vault stuff. I feel like
Like
there's
she's
like
still an
little
important
nothing.
character in the plot because she can summon the spirits, but she doesn't really get progressed as a character much after that. I can agree with that.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So just for that, I feel like put her at A. But yeah, no, there's really interesting stuff like there's some scenes where like oh you're debating between like the like philosophy of oh Tetheala to Silverant, we're both doing the same thing, just trying to save our
Right.
world. There's some interesting stuff going on with that. I feel like, but yeah,
Yeah, in the Silveron arc, she's trying to kill Colette to try to save her own world, and she's kind of like the introduction to Tetheala as well, and that's another thing they do really well with her.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So I feel like yeah.
And also, one of the scenes that is like really good to me is when she's protecting Lewin. Like it shows that she's like actually just a really good person, and she cares a lot
Yeah.
about people, even though she's like hasn't had the best experience with them in the past,
No.
obviously.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Cause yeah, when you first introduced her, she's like, oh, like she's just trying to fight us, and then you see her saving like those like kids in Lewin like fighting against people. So yeah, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Where would you
she is a
put
good
her?
character. Do I put her above him? Her above Remiel? I think I would personally. I'm a big Sheena fan.
I agree.
Kavar.
Kavar, I don't know. I feel like I'll leave.
I don't know about Kavar, but Kavar is really good as a
Yeah.
villain.
All right. Altessa. I feel like Altessa's a who, but I don't know.
Okay, he's not a who, but like
He's close to a who.
he's pretty close.
Bro,
Yeah,
he ain't no Dirk. Let me say
he's
that.
definitely not Dirk. He's also just a lot more standoffish than Dirk, which kind of doesn't give a great impression.
Yeah. He's a lot more angry than Dirk, but Dirk beats the shit out of his son, so.
Yeah. Altessa does have some interesting things going on, like how he feels like really guilty about like Presea, what happened to Presea.
It's a
But
good point. No, like, yeah, there definitely are stuff going. There's things going on with the kid. There's a character there somewhere.
and he also I don't remember if he's gets remember when Mythos like shoots him with magic or whatever. Was he trying to protect someone or did he just get shot? I don't remember.
Oh, I no, no. I think Mythos was trying to shoot Presea, and then he jumps in front to save her because probably he feels guilty about the
Yeah.
stuff with Presea getting Crucius crystals.
So like he's not like a bad dude. He's just got like a tough exterior and a lot of guilt.
No, he's not a bad dude, obviously. I'm just saying he's not like you don't feel a lot of like emotionally like memorable moments with Altessa.
Yeah.
Like I don't think many people play the game. They're like, oh my god, Altessa, dude, he's like my favorite. Like I love
No.
Altessa. Yeah. So I feel like yeah, he's above Pietro. All right. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, Pietro, he can be above Pietro and Varley.
All right. Versus I liked him in the. He's just so cool. I
He is
liked
pretty
him,
cool. I
but I feel
call him
like
Mega Man.
yeah, he's really cool. I just like there's not enough of a character there. There was missed potential. I feel like
Yeah,
like
he is very missed potential. I mean, his
there's a
people
nice
call him
skit.
the Zion hero. I wish like people went more into his background and
Yeah,
stuff.
there's
But
a nice skit right after you defeat him with Lloyd and Kratos where he basically explains like Forcistus, and then I feel like that was pretty interesting. But I feel like yeah, again there was missed potential, so I'll put him. I think
yeah,
I'll put
he's
him.
just above Rodao for me, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Magnus. I like Magnus. I feel like
Dude,
he's a
I really like
solid
Magnius too.
B. I think he's a solid like B villain.
I don't know if I put him above Regal, but yeah, I
Yeah.
really like Regal.
Yeah, that scene in Palmacosta when he's yeah, that was a really good scene.
I think like he's like the first like character. He's the first enemy in the game that really feels like a threat. Like this guy's like in the middle of Palma Costa, just like breaking people's necks and hanging people and stuff. It's actually like
Yeah. It's
looking at that
intense.
now, I'm just like Jesus Christ, like what's going on?
It's intense. Yeah. And then he plays
Yeah,
like the
it's
party
crazy.
and yeah, he's like the reason that Chocolat sort of turns against the party and then like with Door and stuff. So I feel like he
Yeah,
serves his purpose as like a villain really well.
I agree. He's a little bit like comically evil these days, but like back then, I was like actually
As
intimidated
a
by this
kid,
guy.
yeah. Yeah, when you replay the game now, you just laugh at every scene. It's hilarious.
This game is honestly really funny. But
True. All right. Are you fine with bottom of B?
yeah, I'm totally fine with Magnus being there.
Okay. Marble. I feel like Marble is one of the best, for me anyways, one of the best side characters in the game, just because I feel like in a video game, the hardest thing is to get people emotionally invested or hooked early on into the game, and I feel like Marble serves like a really good purpose into that. Because when you're introduced to her, you're like, oh my god, this could be like my grandmother or something, or like you're like really and like no designs like don't whip her, or and then there's like the twist where you end up killing Marble, and then that sets the whole stage for the game for like early
Yeah,
on in the game. I feel like every part of Marble's characters like served like really well. Like there's not one
she,
flaw with it.
yeah. She also just sets up the designs as like evil really well. Like you literally see them whipping like old like women and children and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Old women and children, and they're
Yeah,
making them work and stuff, and they turn her into a monster, and it's like, wow, these designs mean like business, you know? Like these guys, you don't mess with the fucking designs.
exactly. Yeah, so for that, I feel like you can. I feel like I'm putting her in bottom of A is fine. What do you think?
It
Would you
feels a
put her
bit weird to
lower?
have Marvel. It
I know,
feels a
like
bit weird to have
above like
Marvel,
Rain
like,
and Regal and all these
but
people.
like for like the purposes of the tier list, I can agree with it.
Yeah, I'm just saying like execution based off of the point is like if it wasn't Marble, imagine if it wasn't Marble, it was just some other character you didn't care about. A lot of people, a lot more players probably wouldn't be as invested in the beginning of the game, and they might have dropped it or like it just wouldn't be as enjoyable if it was a different character other than Marble. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think Marvel does her job really well, even though she's like very short lived,
Yes,
I
yeah,
guess.
exactly. Yeah, that's true. All right, your pick for next.
Let's go with Vidar because I'm not sure why he's actually here.
I don't know. He's not really.
Vidar is the definition of a who.
But he's so cool.
Is that why you put
Bro.
him on there?
Yeah, he's just cool. Like, dude, uh, like there's this bunch of like teenage kids who are like in like this like old wooden broken down school, and then like the renegades have to bring out this guy to deal with a bunch of kids.
I never thought about like that.
They literally have to bring this guy with like just gigantic like he's not natty by the way. There's no way he's natty with those muscles, but um yeah, they had to
Yeah,
bring him out for a bunch of kids. And like, dude, think about it. He would have destroyed like the whole game would have been over if like Kratos wasn't around or whatever. Like Colette, like it would have been over then. The Renegades would have just destroyed Colette and Lloyd
yeah,
and
true.
Venus. That's why like look how intimidating he looks.
Look at his jawline. Yeah, Vidar is a he's kind of a beast, but like he's also just not a character. So
No, he's not a character. But no, like you remember like they were getting destroyed by
yeah,
Vidar
yeah,
before, yeah.
I do agree with you. He is pretty cool. Also, his weapon breaks, which that happens to no other character in the game.
That is true. As a boss, he kind of sucks. It's kind of easy, but
Yeah, he's pretty easy.
yeah. All right, Zelos. As a kid, I really disliked Zelos. Like I would have put him in like
Really?
D tier as a kid, but
Wow.
as I got older, I started to just like him more and more. Like I just found him like it's like the jokes I'm like, oh, I hate this guy. And it's like, oh, that's actually pretty funny or something like that. And then there's like more interesting stuff going on with his character. And then when you see his Flanor scene, especially like that one's a really good scene. So I feel like Zelos is like easy S or A tier for me. What do you think?
He's arguably my favorite character.
Yeah.
My three favorite characters are Colette, Kratos, and Zelos, which are all in S tier already. um, yeah, he has a lot of similarities to Colette being the chosen. Like his upbringing was really depressing. His mother died. And he was always treated differently by other people because he was the chosen, and so he hid it. He hid a lot of his feelings
Yeah.
by just putting on an act and acting all frivolous and stuff like that. And he's just really interesting because like the reason he kind of like betrays you, like when you do the Kratos route, is what is it? Was to maybe get Celeste out of the Abbey.
Yeah.
And I think that's like I thought that was like a really sad reason that like he chose to die for his sister. And that's another thing where it's like another theme of self-sacrifice in the game, even though it's
Yeah.
not technically canon. It's just something that kind of like stuck with me.
Yeah. The Zelos route, like the doing Kratos route and killing Zelos is always depressing.
Yeah, it's so sad.
No, I feel like you have a like I see what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense. I feel like they're both there's lots of similarities. I feel like between Colette and Zelos, like they both feel the pain of being the chosen, but they like they express it like differently. Like Colette just sort of like keeps it like they both sort of like don't really show their pain, but like Colette is just like smiling and people pleasing, and Zelos is just like I don't really care attitude. I'm just gonna like do whatever I want. Like yeah. So
Yeah.
they're both
Another
yeah.
the biggest difference between them is like Colette kind of accepts her responsibility as a chosen, where it feels like Zealous is kind of trying to get away from it.
That's true, but also I feel like because it is because it's the declining world versus like the flourishing, he didn't really we haven't seen like what would it have been like Yeah,
Yeah,
what was the declining world, and Zelos had to do that. Like, what would it have looked like? Like, that's pretty interesting like scenario. If like Zelos had to like form a band and just like go do the same thing, I wonder what that would be like.
he's also the one of the most interesting things about Zealous is, is also just he's playing like three sides at the same time. He's like working with the Renegades, Crucius, and your party all at the same time.
Yeah. No, dude, that's so true. As a kid, I didn't see any of his betrayal coming, but like when you play it again, it's like, dude, it's like the most obvious thing going
Yeah.
on. Like, where is Zelos? Oh, I guess someone's leaking information to the Renegades. I wonder who it is. Yeah.
And another reason why Zealous's betrayal is really sad is because like obviously he'd been treated differently by everybody because he's the chosen one. And if you do the Kratos route, he's actually like they actually trust like Kratos, the guy who betrayed them, more than they trust me. And it's pretty sad because like that means like
Yeah.
Zealous was never truly accepted by anybody in the Kratos route.
Oh,
And that's depressing.
yeah. No, that's so true. Like, yeah, every time you do Kratos and then like you see that like the scene right after where Lloyd goes up to him and he's like, Zelos, can I trust you? It's like, no, Lloyd, don't say that. You're gonna trigger him.
And then Zealous responds in like the most suspicious way ever. It's like, of course you could trust me.
Exactly, yeah. All right. All right, Dirk. Where would you rank Dirk?
Dirk, I don't know, like C
He's
tier
not a
above.
character.
I don't know. I mean, I like Dirk though. Come on.
I like him too. Oh, wait. Where would you rank him?
Like high D or low C,
High D or low
personally.
C?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's likable. I like the scene like when you do Kratos' route and then like he has like two dads and like
Yeah.
they both like give him a sword. That's pretty cool.
I think just through Dirk's actions you can really see that he really, really cares about Lloyd, even though he's not related to him by blood at all. I mean, they're even like different races and all.
Yeah.
And I think that's just really nice to see. I
No,
don't know.
that
I,
is.
I, I just
It
I just
seems
like Dirk.
like I just don't understand like there's only one dwarf in all of in like Silverant, one in all of Tethe'ala. Like where do they come from?
Supposedly they're like underground, but in Fantasia, which takes place like way later,
Oh, I haven't
the
played
dwarves are
that.
extinct.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Okay. So they're
it's
like,
Symphonia is technically a prequel to Fantasia, but
yeah.
it's like 2,000 years or something.
Okay. So in Symphonia, it's canon that like there's a bunch of dwarves underground.
I think so. I might be misremembering that. I think they're supposed to live underground. I think that's what Dirk said actually, because
Okay.
like he's like, yeah, dwarves live underground or something.
And him and Altus are the only ones that came up, or
I guess so. I don't
you
know.
think Mythos would just like go underground for both Silver and Tethiel, just get all the dwarfs and just force them to like work for him or something?
Yeah, I don't know. The dwarves are an elusive race. That's why I only ever see two of them.
True. All right, Martel.
That,
I mean, wait, no,
oh, that's
sorry,
actually
Tabitha.
Tabitha.
Tabitha, sorry. Yeah, Tabitha. Well, it's supposed to be, yeah. Um, Tabitha's a who.
Yeah. Well, her robot voice is kind of funny to me, but other than that,
Mythos
yeah.
saved me. uh, yeah, Tabitha's there for Mythos's character, but it's not much of a character. I mean,
She's a plot device. Let's be real.
better than Orochi, or definitely.
Is
I'll
she
put
better
her.
than Orochi? I guess so. I mean,
You remember one
she
scene with
becomes
Orochi?
Martel, I guess.
He doesn't have a voice, or does he? I don't know.
He might have a voice. He might have gotten like one or two voice lines. I don't remember.
The fact that we don't remember says a lot.
Yeah, probably.
All right, Celeste. Is Celeste a who? Like, I don't know.
I mean, Celeste aids with Zealous' character development like a little bit, like I was talking about earlier with his self-sacrifice.
That's true, but this, I don't know where I would rank her. I feel like
Yeah, I
it's
don't
somewhere
know.
between D and who.
I'd probably like put her above Altessa.
She has more
Actually,
of a
maybe
character than Vidar.
like, she's definitely more of a character than Mindar. Maybe I'll
That's
just
true.
put her above Pietro
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
because she's not really relevant to the plot unless you do Kratos route, I guess. Like she appears in the plot once to because Zealous needs to get the Crucius crystal from her,
Yeah.
and it shows that they both like kind of care about each other in their own way.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, she doesn't really do much in the main plot. She showed up in
Yeah.
the arena.
Yeah. No, as a kid, dude, she always destroyed me in the arena. Every time I couldn't fight her. Like I don't know why. Every time she would destroy me, I would constantly die to her. But after
Yeah,
you learn more, then she's kind of easy. But yeah.
I kind of got owned by Celeste too because I never developed a good way to dodge Prism Sword for my no damage runs.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Wow, I realized we haven't done Lloyd. He's like the main character. All right, we'll leave
we could
him.
do
We'll leave him for
we could
last.
yeah, save it for last. Best for last, right?
All right, Kate. Everyone's favorite
Kate,
Kate. Where would
the
you?
Pope's daughter.
I don't have much to say about Kate.
Yeah, I don't know. Kate is kind of like less interesting than Pope to me.
I feel like Kate is there to show, like, just be like a physical demonstration of the discrimination of half elves.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I feel like for that, at least she serves a purpose. So I can't put her on who for sure.
Yeah, she's definitely not a who.
She's not a C, all right. She's not in the
She's
same
she's not
ranking.
C. She's not on the same level as Dirk.
I'll put her above Rodaya. That's
Really, above Rodile?
Yeah, why not? All right, leave it above Rodaya. No, okay, I can't do that.
I would put her like just right below the Pope. I think she's a little bit less interesting than her. I mean him.
Okay.
She just is kind of.
You're realizing there's one person who just loves Corinne who's like really mad right now.
Are there Corinne fans out there?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
like I think anytime there's like a cute little animal, there's like, oh my god. But yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry, Corinne fans.
I'm not.
Damn.
All right,
We do Pronema next.
Where would you put Pronema?
Um,
You notice Pronema doesn't have much of a character either. She doesn't really talk. She's just like, I'm ready to fight. There's
she's
no
kind of
character
a.
beyond that.
Her character is basically just being a Mythos simp.
Yeah, like when she dies, there's like a bit of a character, like, oh Mythos, please save me. But like beyond that, like every other scene with her, it's just like, I'm just gonna kill
She's
you.
Yeah, she's kind of a. She's like a boss more than she is a
Yeah,
character.
I agree. She's a top of D.
But she is a pretty fun boss, I will admit.
I'll put her. Actually, no.
Oh my god.
No. I can't. I can't.
You can't.
I
Okay, I'm
can't do that.
sorry. That'd be heresy.
Yeah. All right, Ewan. I love
Ewan?
Ewan.
Me too. Probably A tier for me.
A tier. She above Marvel.
Above Marvel, I don't know. Yeah, above Remiel for me too.
All right.
Honestly.
Above Remiel. Yeah, no. I don't know what else is to say. Like Ewan's just awesome. Like his weapon is so cool.
Ewan is just really, really cool, and he does a lot of things like to advance the plot. Like, if it weren't for him, the entire party just dies at the Tower of Salvation to Yggdrasil.
It's true.
And
Dedicated
he
his
does
whole
a
life
lot.
to fight against us.
He does a lot of like of the planning to try to take down Crucius,
Yeah.
and he also has like kind of like the subplot of he was Martel's lover, and it's kind of sad for him to like have to try going against Mythos, who is trying to revive Martel, because
Yeah.
he knows that this isn't what Martel would have wanted, right?
True. I think.
So Ewan's got some stuff going for him.
Yeah. You think if Ewan was like a worse person, he would actually be along with Mythos, because then he'd get Martel revived and then like have his lover again.
Right.
Yeah, he's
But
really trying to do the right
he's
thing.
able to see the bigger picture, even though he might be able to see Martel again.
Yeah,
I think that's really admirable.
yeah, that's true. I agree with that. You know, I don't know so much else to say. Yeah, I agree with Ewan.
Yeah.
All right,
He's just
Lloyd.
really cool.
All right, this might be controversial. Okay, no, I'm not putting it.
He's a
That's
who?
basically he's not.
I don't know who Lloyd is.
Yeah.
Who's Lloyd?
This is Robin. Okay. I don't know if I wouldn't put him in a. I don't think I would put him as
I would
S.
put him at the top of A, personally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's S tier. Like I really like him, but
Yeah, I really like Lloyd, but I wouldn't put him at the same tier as those four. personally.
Got all messed up. Okay, but yeah, with Lloyd, I just feel like he's not challenged enough. Like a lot of characters, they have their philosophies and ideals challenged in video games, but I feel like Lloyd, it's just like oh, I'll have this ideal world, I'll do everything and everything will be perfect, and then he just like does that, and there's no challenges like beyond that. Like I will save everyone, I will do everything, and it just works out. Like it's like a fairy tale type of ending.
Hmm. So I think what is interesting about Lloyd's development as a character is his character is kind of like so at the beginning of the game, he's just like a kind of a kid who's going along with the Chosen's group because he wants to be with his friends, and he doesn't really have a lot of thoughts beyond that. But when like things start to go bad, Colette starts to lose her humanity, everything goes down the Tower of Salvation. He starts to like question everything, and he has to come up with his own ideals instead of relying on Kratos or like the Chosen One and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that part of his character is like really cool, like just seeing how he develops his ideals from basically like nothing.
Yeah.
So I think that part of Lloyd is interesting. I do agree with you in that in the later stages of the game, his ideals aren't really like challenged, except for like by Mythos.
Yeah, it'd be like in Berseria if like Velvet was like, "Oh, I just want revenge on everyone," and everyone's like, "Okay," and then like there's nothing wrong with anything she's doing or something. I don't know, but yeah. All right. Is there anything else you would change?
Hmm.
I feel like I'd put Kratos over here. This is me personally. I know you're a Colette fan.
I'm also a huge Kratos fan, so I don't really mind either way.
Yeah.
Everybody in S tier is kind of like my favorites. So,
Is a Kratos Zelos solo coming in the works?
um, maybe in the future I could see myself doing it. Yeah,
Okay. Did you ever do a GameCube solo?
GameCube solo. Hmm. Probably not. I think it's less interesting. Like, there's a lot less attacks, I think.
There's less mechanics, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Anyone else? I think you can make an argument for Kavar in S, but I don't know.
I wouldn't pick Kavar in S,
I
but
feel like
yeah, I
there's
think
not
he is
enough
really
in
good.
B. It just
Yeah,
feels weird.
B is kind of empty. Maybe
You put
yeah, bump Persea up.
Presea.
I'm obviously a Genus hater.
You're a Genus hater. I feel like I'll bump Genus up. Now
Yeah, and
Genus is above.
Persea.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Anyone? Oh, you can't even see Noish anymore. He's
Uh-oh.
disappeared.
I don't know. I think this is pretty decent. I like it. Is if I were doing my own personal tier list, it'd be a little bit different, obviously. But
What would you have different? Just curious.
probably I'll probably have Regal like A, just 'cause I really like him.
Yeah.
And Persea and Genus probably be switched,
Okay.
and Bodo
Wonder,
would probably be above Chocolat and Kuchino.
wonder if there's any
But
characters I'm
those are just like
missing.
my personal preferences.
Like yeah. I don't know if there's any characters I'm missing. Like I didn't add Lennar or those other people.
Linar. Yeah, I guess you could have added
They
like
could have
Rain's
added.
mom,
I
but
could have just like loaded the list on the Who's, but yeah. Yeah.
I'm fine with this tier list. I think it's pretty good.
All right. Sounds
Hopefully,
good.
hopefully no one hates us.
No, that's okay. If you have any disagreements, let them know. Let them be known. And yeah, I find just people disagreeing or having different opinions just interesting in general, and then I can hear your perspective and reflect more on that.
Yeah, it's fun to talk to people.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, you want to plug yourself?
Sure. You can find my YouTube channel. It's just Horangi. Hopefully, you'll link it in the description. I do a lot of solos and stuff, and if you like Tales content, check out
His
my stuff,
Colette
I
solo
guess.
is absolute fire, and his Jade solo so far is fire. I don't know if maybe it'll slip or get even better later on, but we'll have
Hopefully,
to.
it doesn't slip.
Yeah, you'll have to watch the next video to find out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anytime, bro.
All right. Sounds good. Bye, everyone.